All right. Welcome in. Yeah, found us once again. Shoot the Gap, the Rabbit Hole Fantasy Focus Show, here to help you be gruntled with your fantasy football team and your fantasy football decisions. I am your humble MC, Brian the Amigo Baldwin, and I'm honored. It's my pleasure to introduce Brock, the Commish Sagine. How you doing, my brother?
I heard Kim Kardashian is available, so it's tough. I'm a married man, so I just gotta stay married.
All right, man. The struggle's real.
Good call.
It is.
Yeah. And also, my man wearing the shades. It is Connor.
Hey guys.
The Gut Marshall. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good, brother.
If I get to do your theme song now, man. Yeah, because
right.
you weren't wearing them last time, dude.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. The Maverick of the show.
Yes, sir. Let me smoke my cigar.
Oh, jeez. Is that a real one, or that's a bubblegum one, right?
Hey, it's a lot stronger than a normal cigar, I'll tell you that much.
Or is that even a cigar? Is that vibrating, dude? All right, okay. All right. This is now our 114th show, August 9th, in this hopeful year of our Lord. Yeah, and we have a great show for you today. So last week we went through a mock draft, but today we'll be going over the news. And we'll also be introducing a new segment called Ask the Gap. Yeah, it's where we are answering questions that listeners have sent to us. So today we got a fever, and the only prescription is more news. Yeah. But next week we'll be doing a live mock draft. How you guys felt about the mock draft we did last week, man? You still think that it holds, or you think things is your approach different now that a week's gone through?
Everything's different and nothing's changed.
Okay.
I couldn't have said it best.
I am the walrus. Yeah, no. I'll be honest. My approach has changed. My approach has definitely changed. Yeah. There's just a lot more value that's starting to happen with the ADPs, man. And where I'm starting to stuff I'm starting to give up, what I'm getting back is not that much of a give up. So I'm pretty excited at the next mock draft to show you guys what I'm going to be doing.
Me too,
now.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, so cool. All right, man. Well, let's just go ahead and let's just jump straight into it.
No news is good news. No news is good news. You ain't got any blues if you ain't got any news. Ha!
All right. Yes, that means that we are starting with the news. So let's start with the something that I think we need to talk about, guys. The Baltimore Ravens backfield. Today, The Athletic reported that on Monday, J.K. Dobbins was removed from the PUP list and returned to practice, doing individual drills, staying on the field for nearly 90 minutes. Meanwhile, head coach John Harbaugh. That's funny when I say that. I always think of those.
It's Harbaugh, but yeah.
Those cartoon, those comic books. Meanwhile, head coach John Harbaugh said last week that Gus Edwards is a little behind the Ravens' other rehabbing players, and The Athletic reported that he is in danger of missing a chunk of time and is now, quote unquote, probably doubtful for Week 1. So, guys, given the season starts in about 5 weeks, it looks like it's going to be Dobbins will be ready Week 1 with Mike Davis as his only real competition. So, talk to me, guys. Brock, how does this news hit you, brother?
I mean, I thought Dobbins was just released off the PUP, and then Myles Gaskin is the one that's doing farther from behind. So, I mean, at this point, if there's doubt now about his availability, Dobbins, that is.
I don't think Gaskin is. Gaskin.
No, Gus. I don't know, but Gus Edwards, man, is
you mean
Gus
Edwards?
We're talking about Dobbins.
Dobbins and Gus the Bus. Those are the two.
Yeah.
Starting running back for the Ravens.
If Dobbins is now yet in question again, then I don't know. It's tough.
Well, there's
to
other
look
guys.
anyway.
Yeah, there's. I don't mean to cut you off. Did you want to keep going?
Well, the question
I was just gonna say, right now he's going in late in a 12-man fantasy. He's going in like the late third round. I mean, if he's not doing good, obviously his ADP falls. It plummets.
The report was that he's taken off the PUP list and he's actually doing individual drills. And so with the fact that it's like about 5 weeks away, man, this is over a month Okay, somebody who just recovered from pneumonia knows how important a month is from where you felt at one point to where you felt now. So it's miles different. So there's a very good chance that Dobbins is going to be ready week 1. And he's not going to have Gus Edwards, and Miles Davis isn't going to take the reins from him. So what I'm asking you is like, how is it? Are you excited about Dobbins? Are you? So it sounds like you're still in the mode of it's still a problem, and you're staying away from it. Correct?
Yeah, I mean, let's wait and see.
I mean, I'll be honest. I'll say what no one said yet. I don't think I've seen any of us draft J.K. Dobbins in a draft. I don't think any of us are that stupid. I think we all know that Lamar Jackson is the starting running back for the Baltimore Ravens, and any other guy that has the RB thing on him that you're drafting is going to be playing second fiddle. And there's better things to get at that price than that.
Okay, that's the thing I was going to ask you guys. Just that even if he's ready, that's the answer I was, or at least the area I was going for, which is if he's ready, week 1. Because our drafts, I know that in both the leagues that Connor and I are in, our draft starts like 2 days. Like one is 2 days before the beginning of the season, one is 1 day. So we'll know then J.K. Dobbins. Let's say if he's ready to go. This is what the question is, and I agree with you guys that J.K. Dobbins is exciting, and the fact that he's going to be out there. I mean, he did really well. I mean, whenever he was out there in 2020. I mean, you're talking about somebody who had 134 runs for 805 yards and 9 touchdowns. All right, so that's what he did. Okay, and so, however, in that year, 2020, Mark Andrews had 58 receptions and 701 yards and 7 touchdowns. That is comparison to what he did last year, which was 107 receptions compared to the 58 before. 1,361 yards compared to the 701 and 9 touchdowns instead of 7. So what does J.K. Dobbins? Okay, we're all off on J.K. Dobbins, but what does he do to Mark Andrews' value?
Well, let's not forget this is a different Ravens team because they don't have Hollywood Brown. Now Hollywood Brown didn't have the best chemistry with the team per se because he's a smaller guy. He can't block. He can't really do a lot of the stuff that a physical run-first team like the Ravens would want to do. But he still opened up the top, and that's a problem for defenses because you gotta, you can't stack the box the same way you can if you know that they can't pop the ceiling off. So we still need to. I mean, Mark Andrews can pop the ceiling off in his own, and who knows, maybe Rashad Bateman steps into kind of that role, but we would have to see that. We're going to have to see if they have any guys that show flashes of that in preseason. The only Ravens guy I really want to draft is Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson and then Justin Tucker. I don't really think I want to take any of the running backs. And to credit you, Brian, none of the wide receivers are proven. So you're really taking a gamble. There's a lot of values in wide receiver this year, and I don't think you need to go with the Ravens.
Brock, do you think that J.K. Dobbins being ready to go week 1, let's say he's ready to go, no, as far as we know, there's no problems. He's good to go. Would that bother you if you were a manager of Mark Andrews? Do you have the same confidence if there was no J.K. Dobbins?
No. I mean, you're not getting. You're talking about a slight drop off for Mark Andrews, if any. Especially because we don't know the true scenario with Dobbins, and we won't know until week 1, obviously. And so you just stay tuned, watch the space, and play accordingly. And if you do want to draft him, I wouldn't draft him at 3rd at this point. I think his ADP is way too high.
Agreed.
Okay.
With from my comfortability, I feel like there's a lot of other areas to look. Past him, especially if you have him. I mean, there's if you're needing, say, a running back, you can still take a chance on Miles Sanders, down the road.
ETN.
Pollard.
Rashad Penny. Yeah.
Kareem Hunt, despite the fact that he wants to move.
Hunt.
I mean, he's still, he's still there.
Elijah Mitchell. There's a lot of names that are probably a smarter decision than J.K. Dobbins, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you guys answered, or at least Brock, you jumped straight into the next question.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, which is, do you still think we should draft him in round 3? Because I've drafted him in round 3, and whenever I clicked the button on the mock drafts, I was like, yeah, man, I feel smart. But then after the draft, I look at my team, I'm like, damn, that was stupid. So yeah, so I think it's important to talk about it. Yeah. So yeah.
How is his progression doing though? I think it's really what it comes down to. Is his progression as good as Saquon Barkley when Saquon Barkley came back from his injury? And I don't know. I've heard that he's fine, and they're keeping it pretty hush hush. So I just have to look at it like, okay, is this guy really going to go at late third for even a 12th man? I don't know. I mean, I'm probably going to look past him. And if for whatever reason he falls to me, which he doesn't, I'll just look further down. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott's just a few later. But,
Exactly.
You're talking about J.K. Dobbins, not Mark Andrews, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I was talking about Mark Andrews.
The point Brian's trying to make is this like a make Mark Andrews like have a lower ceiling or whatever?
I stated I answered it right off the top, and I said it's going to be marginal, if any. And it just depends on Dobbins.
It's like a target or two less a game. That's what we're talking, really. It's not.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, come on, man. Mark Andrews is still going to be the focal point of the offense.
I'm just saying, dude.
Kelsey.
107.
It opens it up for him. Okay. If anything, it opens it up.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Because now they.
Okay. All right. Okay. I just wanted, because people are going to be looking at those numbers. 107 to 58. Okay. Whenever he was there, 1361 to 701. I mean, you can see. It's pretty much 50%.
Are you trying to say that he produces less when J.K. Dobbins is there?
Yes.
Okay. No, bro.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what the numbers look like.
You're getting trapped in looking at the numbers and not
there
understanding.
You go. That's what I want to talk about.
You're
That's
not
what I'm talking
understanding
about.
history for what history is. Because history...
Go ahead. Talk about it.
Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson, they have that connection. Lamar Jackson is the type of quarterback that throws to his tight end. Mark Andrews is that type of tight end that wants his quarterback to throw to him. Just like Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey have a connection. Romo and Witten had a connection. These different quarterbacks, Brady, Gronk, all these different quarterbacks, they have a connection with their tight end. And you can't say for a second that Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews don't have that connection. So the thing with connections is they get better each year. And so what you're not realizing is that last year was Mark Andrews' most recent year. So Mark Andrews is making steps forward every year. That's the thing.
He's still pretty young, too.
He's still pretty young. He's still coming into his prime. We have not definitively seen Mark Andrews' best year yet. So you're thinking about this all wrong. Think about the note that he left it on last year, and he has increased opportunity. You think he isn't foaming at the mouth going, fuck yeah, I get a chance to do it all over again and get bigger numbers.
Yeah.
That's where he's coming from.
He has more explosive numbers with Dobbins.
Yeah, and the Ravens as a unit want to run it back.
More yardage per play than he does. He's getting more the dunk passes, and he's getting the checkdowns. That would help him stretch the field if he was able to get some help out of the backfield besides Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, and Mark Andrews is a big play guy. You give him more separation, that's more big plays.
So is his ADP right? Third round.
ADP's right, man.
You just said no.
I'm taking him. I'm telling you right now, I'll take him in the second. I'll take him in the second. I'll take him over Kelsey. I'll take him as the first tight end off the board.
Okay. Brock, feel the same way?
Dobbins? No, I'd probably...
No, Andrews.
Mark Andrews.
Yes.
Oh, no, yeah, you're taking Mark Andrews. You're taking him right where he falls.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let you turn us around again. Okay, yeah, I let us kind of swirl a little bit, man, but got us back on, dude. Not gonna have you turn the boat again. All right, let's move on. Denver Broncos offensive coordinator Justin Outten said that he expects the Broncos running backs to be on a quote-unquote pitch count throughout the season. So let's digest this info, guys. All right, so last season, Williams had 203 carries for 900 yards and 4 touchdowns. Last season, Gordon has 203 carries for 918 yards and 8 touchdowns. So it's pretty much a 50-50 split. Okay, and that's pretty good. Like, that's strong running back 2 numbers now. So let me ask you guys. And of course, it goes without saying that if it changes to 60-40, or this news came out after that whole first, it was going to be Williams 70-30. Then another person said no, it's going to be 50. I think Peter King said it's going to be 50-50. Then we don't know. Okay, we don't know. Socrates. Okay, all we know is we know nothing, right? And so if it changes to 60-40, whoever goes 60, that's going to be an RB1, or somebody gets hurt. Of course, it's going to be RB1. But what I'm asking you guys is that Javonte Williams, okay, is going in the 3rd round. All right, so that 3rd round seems to be that sticky wicket, it seems, right? In 10-man, right? So does this news scare you away from drafting him, or even Gordon in the later rounds?
You go, Brock.
I think this is the classic tale of the old man and the sea. No country for old men.
Hell yeah.
He's still got some gas in him. Obviously. But again, young versus old. Williams is getting all the love because he's younger, and Melvin Gordon, well, he's I think he's in his 30s now. Yeah, and he's going in the 10th in 12-man leagues. I think what all this will do is just knock Williams' ADP down just a little bit, and he will end up going, maybe top of the 3rd, and Melvin Gordon will be going bottom of the 9th. It's just going to even it out a little bit, but either way, I think Melvin Gordon might perform more like he should have gone maybe in the 5th or 6th round, maybe 7th or 8th rounds instead of the 10th round.
What about Javonte?
Williams will look. You'll probably have wanted to feel like you could have gotten better value for him in the late 3rd, early 4th.
Yeah, I mean, there's guys like James Conner, David Montgomery.
Hang on, Connor. I'll get to you in a second. I'm just wanting to ask Javonte Williams. He's there, 3rd round. Okay, you've already gone running back or something. He'll be your RB3, or if he's your RB2, if you went wide receiver. No, you go running back, wide receiver. That's what you like to do. So let's say you have your running back 1, your wide receiver 1, 3rd round. Javonte Williams is staring there at you. So it was like
jumping at this point. I'm passing up Javonte. I think James Conner will still be there. I'll skip him. I think Cam Akers will be gone and Aaron Jones will be gone before I decide to go all the way down to the 29th pick. From if Javonte fell at me, I'd jump 10 picks to go get Mark Andrews.
Okay, so that means so you wouldn't pick him. You're staying away from the whole situation.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, it's running back by committee.
Okay,
and you're going to get some value. You're going to get some flex value, low end flex value.
Okay, and Connor?
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this once. I'm not drafting any of the Broncos running backs because I'm in on Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. So by proxy, I can't have those different pieces of the Broncos offense. I'm also drafting Russell Wilson in some situations. So it really wouldn't make sense for me to have either of those running backs on my team.
So let's say that if you didn't, if the draft goes sideways, because you're talking as if you bought the damn thing, it's on order and Sutton's about to arrive in your mail.
They're less expensive.
Okay, but what I'm just saying, if you have, let's say you don't, would you go after Javonte Williams in the 3rd? Without the whole Sutton, you have Sutton, or you plan to get Sutton, or you plan to get Wilson?
No, because there's other guys that I would much rather have.
Okay,
I can get Josh Allen in the 3rd round.
Are you saying that you're going to skip over a couple of plays if you have to get Jeudy or Sutton?
Yeah, of course.
He already is.
Yeah, I already am. I'm going to do what I have to do to get who I want. I kind of have my list of my guys, and then I'm gonna play dirty. I'm gonna reach.
Brian, don't fall for it, Brian.
Brian's watched me do this year after year.
I got my approach. And my approach would be, I myself, dude, if you're looking at what is available, I'm like Connor. I like having 3 strong running backs, mainly because the drop off is so quick on running backs, as opposed to wide receivers. Wide receivers, man, 6, again, 10-man, 6th or 7th round, you're still, hitting where, you're still up on the waves, man. You're still, going at it. Where on the running backs, you're kind of going to a lot of question marks, right?
Why I'm locked in with my mid-range guys.
I Right, right, and and like Connor said last week, which he's the one who brought it up to me. He absolutely should be the one to bring you up on the show. So since you did, I'm going to quote you now, which is that if you go 3 strong running backs, then all you need is just wide receivers that are going to produce steady numbers, and then maybe have those flare ups from time to time, and and the players he's chose are the ones that he believes that will do that. Now, I myself, if I would go running back, so I have 2 strong running backs. I'm looking at this as my running back 3 in my flex, dude. I am jumping on Javonte Williams. I am. I know I'm wearing the hat. Okay, I know I'm wearing the hat. Okay, but I'm telling you, dude, this is like an incredible talent that before Melvin Gordon was being signed, he was going in the bottom of the first, top of the second. Now all of a sudden Melvin Gordon's here, and that's fine and everything like that. But Melvin Gordon is now a year older. I know he survived last year, but dude, come on, man. There's going to be a flat tire or two that's going to happen, man. I've been that age before. I know what it feels like to be his age, but
You're
not getting into
now, Brian. You're projecting.
No, it's a theory. Okay, and at this point, everybody, every single running back has it's connected to a theory. James Conner, theoretically, he's going to take over, and he's not going to get hurt and be fine. But it's a theory. Ezekiel Elliott. Oh,
all right. That's not a theory. He did that. And
Jerry
he's
Jones.
do that again.
Well, no, dude. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all.
Because of the guy who couldn't be the starting running back for the Chiefs?
No, because he's too valuable, so they're not going to put him out there so much, dude. Like, he's not going to be out there as much as you hope.
They have no choice.
And then also you have Kyler Murray, who's a running quarterback that likes to run in touchdowns. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
right?
But James Conner doesn't need that, Brian. He just needs 3 attempts within the 5-yard line.
Okay,
Scored 2 touchdowns.
That's theory. Okay, but
that happened last year.
Okay, but not every time.
It happened a lot, bro.
Ezekiel Elliott, okay, he was supposed to be the focus of the run in Dallas, but like Brock said last week, hopefully y'all watched the draft last week because there was a lot of information. But what Brock brought up, he's right there in Dallas. He brought up that Tony Pollard's the guy. He's the one who's going to be catching receptions. He's the one who's going to be there. So that's the running back I'd like on Dallas, not Zeke. So these are the guys that are going to be available whenever Javonte would be there, and I would want to go ahead and take a chance on that better with the idea of thinking that if he even gets 10% more carries than Williams, then he's going to really produce an incredible numbers. I'll be really happy at what I would get in the 3rd round.
I've seen Pollard. Obviously, I mean, Pollard is still light. He's young and he's fast. He's nimble and elusive. But he's tough. He can hang on to the ball. He doesn't. I haven't seen him fumble,
warrior.
but it's just they are. He's
a damn power bastard, man. I mean, the guy's a unit.
He's been a player, a bit player, and so I think the need is for him to step up, and I think that's what he's doing in training camp right now.
Okay, moving on. Kareem Hunt resumed practicing at Browns training camp on Monday. Now, Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski seemed less than pleased about Hunt staging a hold-in during the first week of the team's training camp, and as he lobbied for a new contract or to be traded. The Browns reportedly have no interest in dealing Hunt, meaning he's stuck with a 2-year, $12 million deal he signed back in 2020. And one thing, though, the presence of the Uranus, guys, makes it where Hunt's kind of expendable, and the Browns, instead of being like, hey, we're sorry, Mr. Hunt, let me go ahead and let me pat you on the head, they start hitting him with fines. Okay, whatever.
Well, it really sucks to know that you can be kicked to the curb like that, but that is...
Talk about
the way the situation is.
Okay, this news. What is it? Okay, Brock, what does it do with the value of Kareem Hunt in your mind?
It looks like it's an additional 78 touches to dole out, but he was pretty productive in the red zone. He got like 5 touchdowns. As far as receiving, it's 22 touches, so it's a little bit marginal there. He's more the runner. He's more that red zone goal line type back. Even though there's Chubb, I mean that's where he's had the most success, at least based on the numbers. And he only got like 300, 400 yards rushing.
I agree with you. Yeah.
So he got most of his opportunities he made best of, out of his touches, 78 touches in that red zone area, because he, that's so. I mean, for me, it's like I'm not really looking at Kareem Hunt. He's just a roster, like he's taking up space on my bench.
Yeah, it's a waste of money.
Roster clog. Okay, all right. So you guys, I mean, what about the idea? I mean, it sounds like to me like this might be, again, this is way theory. Okay, so this might be actually to the point of fiction, but still throwing it out there that if he's making this much noise now. He's older, he's definitely not on a team that's going to be competing for a championship. So he's going to get more and more disgruntled. So there's a chance that would you draft him, even though he's a roster clog right now in y'all's minds? Would you draft him with the idea that he might get traded in the season?
Go where? I don't know. I mean,
the old me would draft players and like wait on all that shit, but I'm not doing that anymore.
I would say he's a candidate for the running situation in Baltimore, though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, stuff happens. Players get hurt. Baltimore's a very good example. Last year, I mean, there was a sniper on the field, dude. Dobbins, Edwards.
You get one. It's like Oprah. You get an ACL, and you get an ACL.
Yeah. The injury Oprah, that's funny. Okay, yeah, so so that's you get him like in the 10th round, 11th round. Okay, you get him down there, why not? Just put him on your bench, see what happens, and like you guys said, if it doesn't work out, just cut him and move on.
Don't draft him.
There's other rookies. There's probably rookies I'd rather look at than him.
Okay.
The gut officially says that the Browns are a waste of time unless Deshaun only really gets 6 games, and then the Njoku's a sleeper and Watson's good, but that's it.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now this next news item, Brock, I am pointing this straight over to the gut, over to Connor. This is like me sitting around talking to you, Connor. Okay,
I know what we're talking about. We're talking about David Montgomery.
So I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. I'm gonna put it there.
This way, bro. This way.
So
there we go.
So I could have your. All right. You're gonna get the first opinion. All right. First line. Yeah. 670 the scores. Chris Emma expects there will be more of a share in the Bears' backfield under new offensive coordinator Luke Getsy. Yeah, Khalil Herbert has been getting plenty of work with the first team offense during training camp, and things are pointing to him being more involved, even with David Montgomery healthy. Montgomery has curiously been seeing some reps on special teams, something that number one running backs don't often do, if ever. Herbert saw 4 carries or fewer in every game Montgomery was healthy for in 2021, but it sounds like he's going to get more than that under Getsy. Now, Connor, what does this information do to David Montgomery's value?
You want to know what I really think? So I'll be honest. I was kind of upset when I first read the news, because it's not what you want to see. It's not the direction that I thought things were going. And so I read some more like David Montgomery news. I don't know if you've read any of that, but he actually came out and said that like he's like dealt with like depression and stuff like that. And like there's like a whole interview.
Montgomery?
Yeah.
Was not aware of that.
It was pretty cool, actually, because they were like, well, what happened? He was like, like, kind of just me feeling like I underperformed my first 2 seasons. And he said it was his fault, but, like, he's thinking deep inside, Matt Nagy, But it's like, I mean, he seemed to really take it on the chin, and they asked him what he did that helps, and he said, like, God. Like, he said straight up, like, like, that's what he's been leaning on. And I'm just thinking about it, it's like, I've always liked him. And he just sounds like such a cool guy. I'm still drafting him, and I'm still thinking he's gonna get it done, because he reminds me of Eckler. Eckler's kind of like that too. He's just a real good guy, and he gets it done too. And the thing is, those guys, like, they actually probably care about being on your fantasy team. Not all NFL players do, but the few that are, it's pretty awesome.
Okay. Now, is he just sad or is he going through depression? That's two different things, man.
You should read the article, man.
I'm asking. You read it. I mean, so I'm asking you. I mean,
It's not
what's your
like
feeling?
he wasn't in a psych ward. Like he just like you know how just athletes will say they deal with depression.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that.
Well, yeah, but there's like Calvin Ridley depression type stuff, Then that's what I'm thinking about. It's a very sensitive word, so that's why I was asking.
I think you're
Yeah,
reading into it a little too much.
Well, it's a sensitive word. Yeah, that was okay. All right. Okay. So you're good. He's a good guy. He gives 10% to 10% of all of his earnings to the church. So I'm gonna go for him. Okay,
Didn't say
Brock.
that.
Brock, I know I'm picking on you. Brock, your thoughts? Does it change what is it you're thinking since you're not in love with Mr. Montgomery from the outside? What do you think of when you hear that news? What do you think?
Do I love him on the inside more? No. I mean, hey, we're all our own people, and you have worked really hard to get to where you're at. Make the most of it, and do better than 849 yards next year. This season.
Yeah,
So,
well, he has
okay.
a different coach.
Okay, let me ask the question again. Okay, what does this information do to your thinking of David Montgomery? Is he somebody that you'd want to draft? Somebody you want to stay away from? Do you go after Khalil Herbert now, like with your 15th pick? What?
I'm not at all really that interested in anything going on in Chicago right now. I mean, I get that somebody on the team may fall to me, and I would hope it'd be Mooney, but because he's going to get the lion's share, or Komet. Okay, if all else failed, Komet I'd probably look at. I mean, it's just because it's just Field's second year, I guess, or whatever. I think
and no Jimmy Graham. I know Jimmy Graham. He's the only dude.
I think those are the only two people that I would look at, but I'm not looking at Montgomery. I mean, there's an unfortunate owner in our league that won the league, and he had Montgomery on his team. But it's just that's one of the best players on his team right now, and he has to decide between that guy and Kyle Pitts. So David Montgomery or Kyle Pitts, and I would probably say that's a legitimate question from my buddy David Gomez.
Okay. All right. So
Montgomery.
one thing I would say, I would take a look. Oh, are you asking a question, or were you making a
I'm
statement?
asking it for him.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
If he wants to subscribe for more helpful tips and tricks, but for this one, I would say David Montgomery over Kyle Pitts, just because we don't know what the quarterback situation is going to be like in Atlanta this year.
Yeah.
I think when you asked,
this is what I've told him, but I feel like two other people saying the same thing would help.
Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah. So the
It's
drop.
so sad that Montgomery would be his keeper.
Okay, yeah, but don't you guys? Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't it on your keeper league, like whatever round that you got him, the guy you keep, you skip that round or something like that? Is that right?
That person ends up as just your keeper. That's basically first round.
Okay,
Yeah.
first round. Okay, yeah. Some keepers are different.
But there's a rookie draft, right? Like you guys all draft rookies.
No. They do redraft, but they keep one player.
So you do redraft, but you keep one player. Okay.
Yeah, you get to keep one player, and this guy's trying to choose between Kyle Pitts and David Montgomery, and this is a new. They just moved from standard to PPR. So there's a little bit of that going on, because of Kyle Pitts will be catching passes more, and all the news coming out of camp about Pitts is very positive. In fact, everybody that I've heard 3 reports about that training camp, and all I hear about from the Falcons training camp is that the most athletic person on the field is Kyle Pitts. Okay, however, you got to look at the quarterback, the guy throwing on the ball. All right, can he get it to him? Is he going to? Is he going to scramble instead of passing it off to Pitts? David Montgomery, here, David, run. Okay, that's the play. Here, David, run. That's basically it. I would not make any type of news or take anything out of this whole special teams thing. This is training camp, man. He might be doing that because he just wants to learn it. The actual quote from him was, whenever they need me, I'm going to be ready to be there. I've never played special teams before, but I'm always down and excited to learn so I can be better. That's all that is. Okay, so that's the whole, like, he's going special teams. That's just him doing something to try to get better, right? But Khalil Herbert being there is a real thing, but will probably affect him not as much as they're alluding to.
Because never forget, he used to be good with Tariq Cohen and Damian Williams there. Like he still was the top dog. Like there's less guys for him to compete with now.
Let's break it down, dude. Okay, can we all agree? Goal line. Okay, they have 1 yard to go, and they have 4 downs. First and goal. Who are they giving the ball to? Khalil Herbert, or are they going to give it to David Montgomery?
David Montgomery.
Who do you think?
Probably.
Right, exactly, and that's where the high value snaps are. That's who's getting the high value snaps. All right, and so that's the whole point. We're breaking it down for fantasy. This is what it is. Don't get too caught up in the minutia. Moving on, okay. And this is something where I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to send it to you first, Brock, because I want to get your thoughts on it. But Travis Etienne was suggested at one point, but Sports Illustrated's John Shipley reports James Robinson took first team reps on Monday. He described it as an important and noticeable step for Robinson, noting his reps were against air, though. Okay, he saw a rushing attempt and caught a pass out of the backfield during his first team reps. Before Monday, Robinson, coming off of December's Achilles tear, hadn't taken a single rep with any part of the Jacksonville offense. After avoiding the PUP list to start training camp, it seems Robinson is well positioned to split the team's backfield with Travis Etienne, who missed his rookie season with a foot injury. Shipley has said Robinson could be Jacksonville's main pass-catching threat out of the backfield. Well, Brock, what's your thoughts on that?
You know, I had James Robinson in his rookie year, and that was the year I won my league. Mm-hmm. And I'll say this was in part due to you, Brian. And since then, he's had a big fall off. I mean, it hasn't been like that terrible, but it hasn't been like the 1,000-yard years he's had. With Etienne, somebody that's supposed to be younger, just as injured. I mean, let's just put it into perspective. David Montgomery, only got 850 yards. I mean, James Robinson is like less than 100 yards behind him. So, I mean, just to kind of give you an idea of where the David Montgomery scenario seems to me. I'm also not really that impressed where Jacksonville is with their running back situation. But I would take James Robinson in a later round. I would think that I'd not want to spend more on him than where he's going. So
what about Etienne? What does it change your mind? Like, if he's going in the 5th round right now in a 10-man, does that seem like a good spot for him now with this news?
With Etienne, depending on his recovery, I think he's young. He should probably take the lead back role. I think it'll be like a Javonte Williams situation in the Broncos with Gordon. So I think we're looking at a very similar situation, though Robinson is still pretty young. I think that he's had a big fall off still.
Okay, so Travis Etienne, you wouldn't pick him in the 5th round, right? Yes or no?
Yeah, I wouldn't. No,
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't know.
I might.
That's awesome. I love you, Barack. Connor, what's your thoughts on this news? What, on Etienne or Robinson?
Yeah, both.
Okay. Well, remember, dude, one thing to keep in mind about Etienne, he's never taken an NFL snap. He has not been hit by an NFL man yet. So we're not sure exactly how his body's going to react to it, and that I'm nervous about taking Etienne in the 5th round. I'd stay away from it, but I'm definitely like you could get Robinson or the 10th or 11th round. Sure, why not? I mean, it's the same idea of the Hunt situation. Take it. If it doesn't turn out to be what you think it is, then cut bait and move on. Or better yet, let's say if he goes to IR, then put him in your IR and just wait and see what happens. It's no big deal. Yeah.
James Robinson's ADP shouldn't change from where it is right now, but I do feel like Travis Etienne's ADP should be changing as the summer camp moves along.
Okay. All right. Staying in Jacksonville, Jacksonville Jaguars insider Jordan DeLugo reported on Monday that Christian Kirk was seen leaving the practice field limping on Monday. He remained on the sideline but did not enter the medical tent, so it is considered a minor injury. when you guys hear stuff like that, we're even looking at Christian Kirk's way.
No, bro, I don't think.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Do you think,
Brock?
Jacksonville at this point? I mean, I think there's going to be some upside, of course, but I think it's just going to be wide receiver, like low wide receiver 2, if at all. I mean, if you're that desperate, I would probably even look at him as a low end flex option.
Okay.
I mean, it's just going to be based on your situation. But I would say that I would only play Christian Kirk. You know, he didn't scorch it with in Arizona, so I don't see it necessarily changing with another very similar dynamic, quarterback.
Okay.
Or Jacksonville. Sorry. No. I mean, I just don't see it.
Not even like in the 12th round or 13th round.
Oh wow! I mean, like I said,
that's where he's going.
Value. You want to get good flex value. I probably would try to pick him up in around late 8th.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that's late 8th.
If you want him there, you're going to get him. Yeah.
Early 9th.
Okay, then he'll be there waiting for you.
Based on everything else is available, if he's still on the board and everybody else is going off, I'd be like, okay, I'll take a shot on him here.
what's the one guy like Dale Mooney you put before him? What if you had, let me see, Alan Lazard? Hang on. Alan Lazard or Christian Kirk?
Lazard.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm off on the Packers, and I'm not going to say why yet.
Okay. All right. But so even if I said Alan Lazard, so with you, Alan Lazard or Christian Kirk, you're going Kirk then, right? Right? I mean, because that's what you just said.
I ain't getting either of those motherfuckers. I'm going Devontae Smith.
No, I was telling you that I was asking. Those are
talking about the late 6th round here.
No,
Late
we're talking
6th
about
round.
No, we're talking about like 12th round, dude, in 10 man.
12th round. I'm taking Devon. I'm taking.
No, don't change. No, I'm asking you Lazard or Kirk. I'm asking you
Like
that.
gun
that
to balls, Kirk.
Kirk. Okay. All right. So does this news change anything as far as it's a minor injury. It's a month before camp.
I'm trying to allude to something else. I'm trying to not spoil the news. Barack picked up on what I was. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
It's
so
my state of mind right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Barack
I think it's
knows where
fine.
I'm at. Yeah.
I think it's fine. Okay. All right, so moving on, Steelers coach Mike Tomlin said Deontay Johnson is dealing with a hip flexor. Now, Tomlin said the team hopes Johnson is day-to-day with the injury. Johnson did not finish practice on Monday because of the issue. The expectation is for Johnson to get a few practices off and return within a week. Now, if the injury sidelines him longer than a week, it may be a more serious issue. But personally, I think it's the quarterback situation. It's probably a bigger issue than the hip flexor.
I think they're going to use Trubisky to actually win. Yeah. I think they're going to win 10 games. I think they could sneak in.
Yeah, last August, Mike Williams, he picked up a hip flexor injury and in camp, and he didn't miss week 1. So we're about, but that was even closer to the start of the season. So I don't think this is much of an issue. Are you guys even looking, just real quick, without going too much into it? Are you even looking towards Deontay Johnson at all?
Nothing whatsoever. Not even in the slightest.
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Deontay Johnson, blah blah blah," and I'm like.
A lot of these other podcasts, they want to be inclusive, so they act like everyone's good. We're not like that, man. There's only probably 12 teams that I'm seriously in on, guys.
All right, okay. New Orleans Saints. Anything to add, Brock? Or
no.
Oh, okay. New Orleans Saints head coach Dennis Allen, or probably in New Orleans they call him Denny, right? It'd be right, Denny Allen, right? Is that more New Orleans? Yeah. Said today
we're gonna need to get that one authorized.
He said today that quarterback Jameis Winston had his foot stepped on Monday and sustained a sprained foot. He seems to have avoided serious injury while recovering from the left ACL tear he sustained last year. It isn't clear when he'll return, and in his absence, this is a name that Barack loves, the Red Rocket, Andy Dalton, will take over signal caller duties. Now, are you guys at all interested in anything from the Saints? Brock, are you interested in any weapon at all, or any type of offensive player?
I mean,
or defense,
I would look at, defense for sure. But I would probably look at the only person I would look at right now is taking a chance on Michael Thomas as late as I can get him. I would think 7th round. He would be somebody I look at over Christian Kirk at this point, because even if it's tough, but he'd be the only one I take a chance on, because I still don't know where the Alvin Kamara situation is going to be. I know he's going to start, but then you're going to have to possibly deal with some sort of potential suspension in mid-year. So
yeah,
but it's tough. That's a tough situation to just look at. Even with Bridgewater, or excuse me, Jameis Winston's foot. Even if he was, for sure going to be the starter, it's still just, I don't get excited by that at all. I just see, like zeros from players on that team. And I'm just like, God, that it's very possible this player is going to score like 1 point.
No, I got you. So if it's Andy Dalton or Jameis Winston, you feel the same way about Michael Thomas, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously we haven't seen the connection between either of the quarterback tandem there with Thomas. With James Winston. I just don't see it, and then the same with Red Rocket. I mean, it's just bad. But can we just change the subject?
I want to see if Connor has anything.
I'm just interested in Kamara. That's the only piece of the Saints I'm interested in.
Okay. Well,
Voldemort.
Yeah. In fact, Yeah. What is that, man? What is going on? What is an issue to start the season for Mr. Kamara? Is the return of Voldemort. Taysom Hill, yes. Taysom Hill returned to training camp. Hill reportedly ran routes by himself and will ramp up to full practices with the Saints offense after missing more than a week with a rib injury. Saints head coach Dennis Allen said in July that Hill is going to, quote-unquote, provide multiple roles for us and will take some snaps from the quarterback position. Apparently the Taysom experiment is not over. Connor? How you feel about Kamara?
I'm hoping this tanks his value a little, but I don't think it will.
Okay. All right. Okay. I was off of Kamara because of Hill and Ingram, and then I was back on whenever I heard that Voldemort was hurt. Now Voldemort, of course, being immortal, was able to heal himself from broken freaking ribs, and now he's back. Yeah, dude, still goal line duties.
Yeah, but he can't stay healthy. That's the silver lining, though, is he can't stay healthy. So I hate to sound like a dick, but hopefully he gets injured again and he stays injured next time. So Kamara can have the reps he deserves.
But obviously he can heal himself. He just grabbed one of his wands and boom, that Alakazugi, whatever touched his ribs, and there we go. He's fine. Yeah, dude.
Get promoted to Water Boy. And take the stress away from
the Eskimo water. That's funny. That's great. Okay.
Speaking of
moving on. Darren Gant of the Carolina Panthers official website has reported that Baker Mayfield has shown improvement throughout training camp and is becoming more comfortable with Coach Matt Rule's playbook. And it is being said that he has the inside track. It's also been suggested by the NFL Network, Mike Garofalo, if you care, on Monday that Mayfield continues to impress and has put himself in position to be the starter week 1. So, guys, let me ask you. If do you see Christian McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson, or DJ Moore any different if it's Baker Mayfield or if it's Sam Darnold?
In week 1, I do.
Okay. Because they're playing. Are they playing the Browns?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
it. After that, he's going to lose all his. He's going to shoot his load in game 1. Whether win or lose, he's going to shoot his load, and they're going to eat week 1.
Okay, so draft him and then trade him promptly after week 1.
Plan for that 1 week. As you draft him late, start him week 1. Depending on how your quarterback situation goes.
Gotcha. And Connor, any thoughts on that?
I don't care about those motherfuckers.
Okay. All right. I myself, dude, I really do feel I've said it last show. I'm going to say it again. That I really do feel that DJ Moore is going to have a good year this year. It just everything's lining up, especially with Mayfield being the quarterback. I think he's going to be a lot better than Darnold, and it's in my opinion he's not going to run as much as Darnold did. So he's going to be a little bit more focused on passing. Plus, I think they're going to save Christian McCaffrey a little bit. Use DJ Moore. He gets some touches. He has run the ball before in the past, and so. It seems true to me that he's going to do that again. So I think I'm excited. I'd be excited to grab DJ Moore if he's not my number one target, but if if Mike Williams isn't there, that would go after him. So yeah, I like it. I like the news, but yeah, I didn't get a chuckle from you guys with Robbie Anderson, so I'll just move on. Donald Parham is dealing with a hamstring injury that will force him to miss approximately a week of practice. All right. So the reason why I'm bringing this up, is that, a week of practice is almost 5 weeks till the first game. So why is this a big deal? And who is Donald Parham, right? Well, Donald Parham was having a great year last year until he had that one scary head issue, that injury that happened, I believe it was on Thursday Night Football. So yeah, and he knocked him out for the rest of the year. There was a sleeper, Gerald Everett. He got signed by the Chargers, and he was considered a sleeper, being how Jared Cook did pretty well, and Everett should do better. At least that's the assumption. But then now with Parham, coming along, because they were saying that he's going to be used in the downfield. Like when they go downfield, that's how they're going to be using Donald Parham. So that's a big issue. That's a big issue. So with this news. Were y'all, first of all, let's just put the level playing field. Were y'all even looking Gerald Everett's way for a sleeper?
No, this is completely this fantasy news means absolutely nothing to me. Okay,
and what about you, Brock?
I couldn't have summarized it better.
Thanks, bro.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of people that were looking at Everett as a sleeper, so I just want to throw that out there. To be a sleeper, you have to be the number 2 target on the team, and he's not the number 2, so he wasn't a sleeper to begin with. So yeah. So, all right, let's move on to the last bit of news. Okay, it's on Aaron Rodgers. Apparently, Rodgers opened up about his life-changing experience during an off-season trip in 2020, where he took the hallucinogenic drug ayahuasca. Hey, how about that?
Ayahuasca. It's pronounced ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca, yeah.
Ayahuasca.
He believed that it helped pave the way towards his recent successes and the revitalization of his career. After the experience, he won 2 consecutive MVP awards and finished as QB2 and QB5 in fantasy. Fortunately for the Packers, the drug doesn't violate the league's policies. So, is this the reason why you're off the Packers there?
Wait,
Connor?
He did it 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh no, I thought, yeah. I thought he just did it this year, so I thought it was going to be a drastic difference, but no.
2020, yeah.
Did it in 2020. Well, I was high when I read it, so there you go. But no, man. To be fair, he has kind of choked in crucial moments the last 2 seasons, but he still made Devontae Adams awesome for fantasy. So for the regular season, probably still go Lazard. I'm back on Lazard over to amend what I said before. I'll take Lazard over Christian Kirk.
I knew you were doing a bit.
Yeah,
That's okay.
Thank you.
Brock, any thoughts on that at all? Just nothing?
Shit.
I thought it's funny.
Hey, listen, Steve Jobs invented the iPhone or iPod on freaking an acid trip. So, hey, I'm just saying anything is possible. And, it resulted in basically 2 back-to-back MVP seasons. I'm going to go shit and vomit my brains out. I'll be right back, okay?
Really?
All right.
That's what you do.
Oh, because he was alluding to the cleanses. Okay, of Arnold, of Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, yes. Okay, sorry, man. Sorry, dude. Sometimes you move at a speeds a little faster than me, but I caught up.
I would say more left and right.
Okay. All right, I caught up. Okay, all right. That was our last bit of news. So we're gonna move on to the new segment, Ask the Gap. But before we do that, we'd like to thank the supporters of the show with these words.
The Sports Host social app is a global community of fans united by sports. No spam, politics, trolls, or cat pics. Just sports. Sign up today at sportshosts.com. That's sportshosts.com.
High Volume Music Radio, the pride of Sunnyside, with shows like Rock and Roll Radio, Bring Back the A-Track, The Brown Sugar Express, and Blame It on the Boogie with Aunt Boogie. Log in now at highvolumeradio.com. And remember, if it ain't high volume, it ain't loud enough.
Now back to Shoot the Gap with your...
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Hopefully you enjoyed that little commercial there. Yeah, we gotta get a little more upscale. Hope you dig that. Okay, so now it's time for Ask the Gap. So Brock, take it away.
Yeah, this one comes from Adam Torres out of Fort Worth, Texas. He asks, which top 25 wide receiver will have the biggest drop in production this year?
Good one. I like that. Do you have an answer for that, or do you want me to go ahead and just jump straight in?
I think the obvious is Cooper Kupp.
Yes. That's exactly right. Yeah, Cooper Kupp, absolutely. There's no way he could have sustained the numbers that he had before. Plus, you're looking at a situation with that now he actually has a true competition for targets with Allen Robinson.
Hey, Rob.
Last time. Yeah, whenever he was going off, he did not have Tyler Higbee, did not have Robert Woods, and this offense is they like to spread it around so much that even OBJ was relevant. So it seems to me that absolutely. If you're looking for a drop from production from one year to last year, Cooper Kupp was great last year. That's great. That was last year. It's time to move on to Jefferson or to Chase. Yeah. So, what's your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, thinking about his the Matt Stafford's arm, that's usually a lingering thing.
I didn't even say that. Yeah, good point.
No.
Yeah. Any thoughts on that, Connor? Who do you think?
I think I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel like Devontae and Tyreek are both shaky. Like those are both kind of shaky guys that I don't necessarily want to make my foundation on.
Yep.
I mean,
Waddle will go in there too. Waddle will be in that.
Yeah, Waddle and Tyreek are kind of because you
Waddle
don't really
further down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Waddle was a top 25 guy last year.
Well, yeah, but now he has a target hog. That's going to be taken away from him. Yeah, with Hill. So they actually kind of cap each other's ceiling.
Yeah,
they're both going to do really well.
They cannibalize each other. They're both going to do well.
Yeah, but we're going to see what Tua's made of. I mean, there's no excuse.
The same titty.
I also think you know what, Diggs. I think Diggs is gonna see some more because they got so many more mouths to feed now. They got Gabriel Davis. Talks already talking about how Gabriel Davis is the red zone weapon now.
Yeah. Jamison Crowder has actually been missing time, and that's really important, especially when you're the new guy in an offense. Stefan Diggs kind of knocked down for me last year because the year before he was so prolific, and then Allen started passing it. He started broadening out his throwing it to Knox, throwing it to Davis, throwing it to Cole Beasley, and so he's still going to have the same kind of weapons there. Plus he runs. Yeah, so Diggs was kind of down on me to begin with. I can't believe he's a top 25 in my opinion, just because of...
But isn't he seen as... Well, we're talking about the top 25 wide receivers. He's definitely there. I mean, he gets picked pretty early still.
Well, but he's not top 25 in my heart.
That's true, but now you know how it feels when I'm talking about all the people that might be drafting Diggs, so they want to know.
Okay. I wouldn't do it. Yeah, not where he's at. Mm-hmm.
All right, this one comes from Keith Winklebauer out of Hazlitt, Texas.
Oh, Pearl Jam fans. Yes. I know them. Yeah, I know you.
He goes, what is everyone's take on no waivers?
Oh,
It's like living in
Depends.
America. It's the best.
yeah. Do you like bread lines? I mean, it depends. Do you like bread lines? Whenever you go on your mountain bike, do you still put the training wheels on? I mean, it's up to you. I mean, because if you do, then go for waivers. You know, I mean, if you like bread lines,
If that's your thing.
waivers are great. But if you're an American,
You know, I mean,
if
it's
if you're
not
an
my
adult-
cup of tea. I mean, you know, it's just not my cup of tea. Mainly because I don't like huge pieces of shit in my tea. But you know, I know some people that's their jam, baby. So you know, go for it.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, no waivers. What that does, it allows.
waivers
to me,
is the best.
It's freedom. It's freedom. It's basically what it is. And what it does is that you know how you play the game because you're passionate about it, right? You can't get enough of it. You listen to the podcast. You're analyzing what happened the week before. You're trying to get the jump on things. You're watching what's going on with the practices. You're doing everything you can, right? But then. Let's say you're doing all that, all right? So you get to jump on all this. I mean, it could be, and you can't help it because you're passionate about it, right? It's not like you can just pull back. You get all this information, so you see an awesome opportunity that would just fill a need for your team. You did all the work. You put in your bid, and some jackass that is last place right before the waivers runs like, what does Yahoo say that's going to be the best waiver pickup? Oh, that dude, I'll do that. And bam, there he goes. All right, I've already told you it's a dumbass, right? And so the team isn't doing well. It's already last
He's right.
place.
That guy is a dumbass.
Then you get this great player to this dumbass who will probably put him on the bench anyway. Okay, so it's a bad thing. It just hurts everything overall. People say it's fair. No,
There's
no
nothing
way,
that's
dude.
worse for leagues than idiots that bench guys but won't trade them when I send them off awesome trade requests, and they just get wasted all year and they don't end up in the playoffs. So it's just a waste.
Yeah,
Well,
so
man, I don't think I've heard you seethe with just
Neither of us like it.
frustration.
yeah,
You know,
dude.
I've never seen you seethe with frustration like this.
Waiver wires. You want hot buns, waiver wires, and gnomes. All right. Okay.
Wow.
And Gwen Stefani.
Ah, bitch broke my heart. Yeah.
I know him well.
So do you guys know how to make a beast mode bourbon shot?
No.
No, I don't.
It's a shot of bullet with 10 purple Skittles in it,
It's awesome.
and
I
you
thought-
get a DUI.
Does the DOI come with it, or do you have to pay extra?
No, Marshawn Lynch comes with it.
Okay, I was about to say the FDA said that Skittles broke my childhood, broke my heart as a child, saying that the Skittles could be toxic to you. I'm like, oh my god, you know, that's I need to go to the hospital.
Putting in two newsworthy items into one little thing there. Anyway,
Let's do that.
the next question comes from Josh Reitnauer of Fort Worth, Texas. He asks, how would you best deal with collusion within the league?
What you do with that is that, well, first of all, whatever they colluded to do, you undo it. Okay, then you lock the teams. Okay, so that they can't trade. You know, they can't pick up. If they pick up free agents, they gotta kind of go it through you. You're basically having, like, as a commissioner, I'm talking because I'm a commissioner, that you have to police the situation. Okay, then after you police that situation, they're out. Collusion is a terrible thing. It really is. It's
And
not. It's
I
not,
am that guy that will rat you into the commissioner instantly the second
Well,
I think it's happening.
yeah,
I
see,
have, and I already did.
I'm very passionate about collusion, okay, because it that also lessens the game. All right, it's not right because it's not fair for everybody involved. We're all playing a game here, guys. Okay, collusion's a little. I mean, come on, dude. You know, you're hurting a game. We're here to have fun. Okay, collusion's what happens out there in politics. That's what happens out there in business. All that. You know, this is fantasy football. It's fun. Don't bring the nasty evil of the world into something so pure. That's why I don't.
Fake news.
Yeah, right, and that's why also I don't like waiver wires because it's pure, it's beautiful.
And I also
Well,
think
very
it should
good.
be PPR. Yeah, is that how many more we got?
Just one more.
Let's do it.
This one comes out of Josh Rogan, a voiceover for today's commercials.
Shout out to
Josh Rogan out of Watauga, Texas. He asks, what is your specific draft strategy for a 12-man PPR?
Get out of it and be in a 10-man.
Well, no. They're asking about 12-man. I always I've been starting the answers. Why don't you go, Connor?
I think he just gave his answer.
Well,
No.
that was my
No.
bit. I mean, like you got to be more. So I have like a list. I have a list of guys that like these are my guys, and like I literally have like a strategy. Like I draft Joe Mixon or Leonard Fournette, and then I have like a pivot. So if Joe Mixon or Najee or Derrick Henry isn't there, then I get Leonard Fournette or maybe other guys. So like you have to know who the guys you want are, and you have to be flexible. You can't be married to I'm gonna go running back, wide receiver. I'm gonna go running back, tight end. Like you can't be married to anything. You gotta stay water, and you gotta know all the guys that you want that are in the range of the round. So that way,
Be water, my friends.
be water, exactly.
I would say what you look at is that you think about numbers, all right, and so that's what we're looking at here. In PPR, I know it's a little like different because you're going with standard, and like now all of a sudden you got receptions and points and all that stuff. Okay, well, newsflash: a good player is going to give you both like PPR, catching points and running points. Okay, so what I would say is that I would take it basically the same way. I always like to look at running backs first, mainly because they're consistent. All right, I would rather have a player that I know that's going to be giving me like 15, 20 points every single week, instead of ones that gives me like 5, then 10, then 80, then 4, then 3. Where you look at, that's one thing that was frustrating that I experienced. I'm sure you guys do too. Is that you look at these wide receivers and like you look at all these like at the end of the year and like, oh my God, they scored X amount of points. How did they do that? Because I had them and I didn't see those points. It's because it doesn't carry over. So the way that I would suggest is I would look at running back, but with Connor's thoughts, you got to be flexible because you got to see what's going to score you more points. That's what it is. You got to look at it like a computer, all right? Look at what's going to score you more points, not exactly what position that you're looking at, okay? But if you have two players, what I do is I have two players that I view equally. If one's a running back, I'm going running back. All right, mainly because it's a consistent thing. Plus, like I said earlier in the show, that it actually falls off really fast. And in 12-man, that falls really fast. Okay, so you want to make sure and get your, we're talking about 10-man. We're worried about our flex or our backup running back, falling off. But in a 12-man, you're looking at your RB2 falling off. So I would go ahead and do that. And keep in mind on the theories. Don't watch. Be careful with the hype. If you want to look at statistics, if you're focused on Marquise Brown and Kevin or Kyler Murray, they were they were buddies in college and they were able to explode together. Or if you look at Adams and you look at Carr, they were buddies and they exploded in college. Well, also look at the statistic about how do great wide receivers that move to another team, how do they produce that first year?
I think that
Stefan Diggs and DeAndre Hopkins were outliers, guys. It's more chance that they're not going to produce like you're hoping for.
For those of you who need to go ahead and rewind, do so now, and then catch back up. And okay, let's go. That's those are all the questions.
Yeah, you gotta be careful when you ask me a question, dude. I'll regurgitate all over you, man. Yeah.
You gotta get it. You gotta get it on. If you got it on in, you're gonna win your league this year.
Yeah, well, I'm passionate about it, man. I'm passionate. Yeah. You asked me for advice. I know that's a little scary. It's not that scary. It really isn't. It really isn't. Just, like Connor said, use the force. Okay, so all right, everybody, thank y'all. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up our 114th show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to please, if you enjoyed it, if you stayed on this long, you must like something. Make sure and hit the like button, and please subscribe, okay? Because we're gonna be doing a show a week, okay? Actually, right now we're doing a show a week, all right? So make sure to click the bell, okay, so you can get that announcement. But going forward, show a week. Once the season starts, then we're going to be doing like these 2-show things where Brock and I are going to be doing more of a concise show for everybody that doesn't have time to spend, to listen to a bunch of guys babbling about. So we'll be more concise, and then then Connor and I will do the longer rabbit hole show. So make sure to click that bell. Make sure to hit like. Thanks again, sports hosts, and thank you very much, High Volume Music Radio. So and also make sure and check out Connor's book. You Know Too Much. I want to make sure
much.
Yeah, we have any new viewers in. Connor wrote a book. He's actually an author. You Know Too Much. It's on Amazon. Make sure and check it out. And of course, check out Drive Time Sports with Charlie and Brian on High Volume Music Radio every Thursday from 4 to 6. So on behalf
Go check out my SoundCloud.
On behalf of Connor, the Gut Marshal, and Brock, the Commissioning Seguin, and me, your humble host, Brian the Amigo Baldwin, want to thank you for watching, and we hope that this year is even better year than last year. So, time for parting shots, guys. What's your parting shot, Barack?
Pick on me first, because you know this is how this is going to go. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Do you guys know who Albert Nonino is?
Who is Albert Nonino?
No, we don't know who Nonino is.
He's only got the most popular penis in search on internet today, or over the past 48 hours.
Why would I know that?
Because Barack searched it.
I know, but why would I know that? That is like so far out of my like.
Because
who's number 2? Like I'm concerned about the top 5.
When you're looking up, and this is my parting shot, when you are working. And like I was doing stuff for this show today, and I had image searches up. Don't type in, hey, marathon runner's dick falls out, and it's on the image search. When
Why
I
would you do that on accident? What were you trying to look up?
I was looking up
girl marathon runner's dick falls out.
Was
your hands like just like one key over?
No. The 2020 in the 2022 World Athletics in California, I heard this hilarious story about this dude's dick falling out of his. Like he lost the race. Or he came in last because his dick kept falling out.
Nice. Did he really come in last though?
Dude, that dude has got a probably a future on like. Some like what is my page? What are the pages?
It's called OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. He's gonna have a great OnlyFans.
Don't pretend like you don't know what it is.
You know what? I don't know.
I know Brian doesn't know what it is.
I kind of know what it is, but I forgot. I couldn't come up. It's just
You know.
So my parting shot is
I know too.
Sure you rerun your search. Just open a new window and start fresh. That's it.
Okay, that is good advice. And erase the history. Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can't do that in fantasy football. So in fantasy football, what you do is you have to understand that drafting some of these players, the experience is like that showing up on your search history. And those are some of the guys that I try to help our followers not draft so they don't have to deal with that in the world of fantasy.
Is that your parting shot?
What
you do?
What do you mean?
Like this is what I do for you. That's my parting shot. Come on, give me the advice, dude. Come on, I need some advice.
No,
At least he gave some advice.
I'm trying to say I gave great advice. It just kind of went over your head. What I'm saying is there are players who you don't draft because drafting them gives you an experience like what Barack was talking about. You fucking the dick coming up on the screen. That's what I was trying to say.
Sometimes you have to talk to me like I'm a 4-year-old. I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
I love you.
Oh, I thought you said you didn't want to drink, Spider. I thought you said you didn't want to drink, Spider.
All right, my starting pot, our parting shot. My starting pot. My sharding pot. My sharding pot.
Is a gnome sharding in a pot?
Everybody has a sharding pot. Yeah, everybody should have one if you don't have one. Yeah, so no. Mine, is advice, and it's a plea. Please, everybody, when you're doing your mock drafts, don't be an asshole drafter, okay? We're getting to the point of mock drafting where some people get bored and start doing stupid stuff like only drafting sleepers or only drafting players from your favorite teams, and they think they're being cute, but they're really just being inconsiderate, selfish assholes.
Yeah, those guys are the worst. Hey, Brock, you want to do that after this?
Do it.
Yeah, you're screwing up people's strategies, and the whole mock becomes one big waste of time. So resist the urge, and if you feel like doing that, do something else. And because obviously you've been mocking way too long, and you remember you're not being cute, You just now have something in common with the cactus. You both are one big prick. All right, so that
I'm
ends
gonna
the
go put
show.
on my jogging shorts.
Yeah. So where that ends the show. So let's go ahead and end it with the closing line. Help me out with this, guys. Remember, everyone, in fantasy football, as in life,
Don't dream it.
Be it.
yeah.
Be
I like
it.
Just be it.
Be
I like
it.
the production. That's nice. Good value.